Hello again, lovely people. It's time for another energy report, and today we're moving into the red moon energy. It's raining, so there's going to be a gentle pitter-pattering in the background of the sound, I'm afraid. Hopefully it's going to be nice and relaxing and not come down too heavy. Let's see how this goes. So we're into the final red energy of this current spin or cycle through all the signs. This is the last red sign. We've got a red, white, blue, yellow to go, and then we're back to where we started with red dragon somewhere in October. So this is kind of like this final cycle where everything starts to come to fruition, and hopefully you'll be finding kind of like a sense of culmination, is that the right word? You know, as towards reaching the end of a process. And towards the end of this, I'll be inviting you to look back to where we started, so you can just see how things have shifted or moved on a little bit. For now, we've got 13 days of red moon, and the red moon energy is it's kind of like the divine feminine, or like a real goddess kind of energy. It's got a feeling of purity and innocence in some ways, and this energy is within us all. It's regardless of whether we identify as male, female, or somewhere in between. We all have bits of feminine and masculine within us. It's it's this idea of yin and yang. So the red moon is the yin energy. It's this soft, gentle, flowing energy, as opposed to some of the more harsher and more masculine signs. So so this is very much about allowing things to flow, feeling our emotions. The emotions and intuition are things that are very much linked to the more feminine qualities. But guys, if any guys out there watching, you have this in you, have this within you as well. So feeling those emotions, listening to our intuition and receiving insight, and making decisions that are based on this inner knowing. I do believe, and I'm sure I've said it before, that we ultimately we all know what's best for us deep down. We kind of get pulled off track quite a lot by either things that we've been told that become our core beliefs, or by just external influences, friends saying, oh, you should be doing this, or this is what's right. Like, obviously people that sometimes are quite forceful in their opinions, and kind of will be telling you what you should be thinking, or what you should be doing, or what's best for you. And then you've also got the influence of sort of media and governments and all this information that's being thrown at us that's apparently there to advise and guide us, but we're all different and we don't all follow the same path. And when you are able to really still the mind and sit quiet and go inwards, you know there's a feeling in your heart and your gut, and you know when something feels right. And that's what this energy is all about, really tuning into that inner knowing and intuition. It's a time for exploring our emotional responses. Our emotions are really useful. I think for several generations we've been taught to repress our emotions, to repress our anger, to repress our tears, in some cases even to repress our love. Some people find it quite hard to show their emotions, but our emotions are quite an ancient part of our brain. In our very early human development, our emotions are one of the first bits to develop, which kind of, and our emotions have sort of taught us how to be safe, and how to nurture one another, how to grow, how to be safe. So it's kind of like a really innate part of how we're wired up. And a lot of the time our emotional responses to things can give you like a real insight into what's going on in our subconscious, and what again, it's like a signpost to what feels right for us. So if you can, really try and tune into those emotions and use them as to direct you towards that inner, more inward thinking and exploration. And it's also about being open and receptive to any new ideas that come up. When you do this kind of inner exploratory work, you might find that things come up that you weren't expecting, that you didn't know were there, and it's about being open to that and exploring that, and not, maybe it's not trying not to be afraid of anything. I think, oh, okay, maybe I do need to look at this a little bit differently, and or view a situation in a slightly different way. So these are all kind of different elements to explore and embrace. Really about embracing the power of this softer and more vulnerable energy. The rain's getting louder. Can you still hear me? I'll try and talk up a little bit. It's a red moon energy, and the moon, it has this image of stillness and peace, but it's incredibly powerful. When you think of how the moon controls the tides, and that the force that is required, or the force that you get in tides and currents, the power behind waves and water, so things don't have to be all kind of rah in your face to have incredible strength and power. This is a red sign, and all the red signs are an initiation energy. So it's time for creating, it's time for new things to ignite, it's perhaps about finding a new direction, but it's a much more gentle approach to that than some of the other red signs that we've been through previously in this cycle. I've said before, all the signs have a positive and a shadow. The shadow side to this energy is perhaps feeling the shame of those emotions, because let's face it, we've been kind of culturally conditioned for generations to see our emotions in a certain way, and there can be a lot of discomfort sometimes in expressing our emotions or understanding our emotions, and that can make us feel a bit out of balance. Obviously, because this is such a emotionally powerful energy, if you're not used to experiencing those emotions, it can really give you a wobble and make you feel a bit out of balance. And it also sometimes brings that kind of, when things are wobbly and out of balance, our natural instinct is to try and cling on. We kind of crave the stability. We want things to be solid and how, in line with what we perceive to be true. And of course that's not always the case. So yeah, if you're not yet ready to go with the flow of that, it can feel a bit unsettling when everything's all moving about, and you're like wanting to go, oh no, I don't want, like clinging on for stability. So please, if that sounds familiar, or if that sounds like you, then first of all, know that it will pass. This is a 13-day spell. They all pass. But also just really try and pause and breathe and explore what's going on, and what is it that's making you want to cling on and find that stability. What's preventing you from going with the flow? And that can open a huge can of worms, but it's all about growth. We have to rip that plaster off sometimes and explore the wound underneath to really see what's going on in order for it to come clean and to heal. So that's kind of what we're facing over the next 13 days. It can be an amazingly powerful and empowering energy if you embrace it. It can really make you sort of like feel like everything's falling into place, and give you that sense of understanding your place and your purpose in relation to everything else. But it can be a bit shaky to get there, and it's a little reminder that if you're going to feel wobbly, it's likely to happen in the first sort of week of the energy. That's when things kind of all come at you, and you need to be if you can, just be doing the work to uncover all that, and that is how you clear it and heal and move forwards towards the end of the wave spell. If you want any help with that, with exploring any of that, you know where I am. Just drop me a message, and we'll take it from there. Okay, hopefully that'll make some kind of sense. And for those of you in my WhatsApp group, I'm back. I'm going to be a bit more proactive over these last few wave spells. I have had my own wobbles going on over the last month or two, but I'm feeling back on track. So I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.